Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second day here at the Tomorrow Mobility World Congress, and in this session at the hall number 2, under the topic AI and the potential and the reality in the mobility sector. It's great to see so many of you here. So many of you continue to be joining us here in this room. We still have some places here in the back, but also here in the front. Don't be shy and join us for what's going to be a very exciting session today, where we're going to be talking all about artificial intelligence and all the hype around it as well. What fields in the mobility sector are applications of AI more advanced? Which cutting-edge innovations are we looking into? What is the meaning of trustworthy and responsible artificial intelligence? And also, how do we put the people's needs, the consumers and the users' needs at the center of our innovation? What do we do this for? We have a great speaker lineup in this hour and a half. And the way that this is going to be looking like is we're going to have, let's say, kind of 2 sessions in one, or 2 parts in this session. We're going to be starting with the set of 2 presentations, what we call the solution talks, in which we will be diving deep into 2 case studies, into 2 specific examples on how artificial intelligence is applied in the urban mobility sector. And then we will be moving to the second half of our session, in which we are going to have a panel discussion with some experts on the applications and on the policies, and exactly the meaning also of what does it mean to have trustworthy artificial intelligence innovations. So yeah, I would like to also encourage you to participate in the session. We're going to have time for questions coming from you. So after each one of the 2 presentations, we'll open a little time for Q&A, so you can ask your questions to each one of the speakers. And also during the panel discussion, we will have some time in which we will encourage you to ask any questions. At the end of the day, this session is for you. You guys are the experts. I have a few questions prepared. I'm very curious about many things, but you are the ones who know what you want to get out of the session, so I would like to encourage you to be active. So let's start with the first one of the solution talks that I was just telling you about. And for that, I would like to invite my first speaker on stage, coming all the way from Dublin. It's my pleasure to introduce, from Civic Group, Ken Glover.
Good morning.
Ken, welcome on stage.
Thank you, Anna. It's lovely to be here. Leave this here for a second. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. It's wonderful to see such a big and varied turnout. I understand this is quite a new topic and quite a new area, so it's lovely to see people from so many parts of the world. Can I ask, how many people here have traveled from outside of Europe? If you can raise your hand. Oh, excellent. And how many have traveled here from inside the EU? Oh, yeah, well. And how many from the UK? A few. And how many wished from the UK they raised their hands when they said EU? Yeah, I figured. No, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk today about AI, artificial intelligence. It's something I've been using for a very long time, both personally and in work. But there's something about the term artificial that doesn't really connect with me. I prefer to call it assisted intelligence. It's not so much something that should be feared, but perhaps it's something that we can look to use together in the future. I'm going to start with a small, I promise this will be the last time I ask you to raise your hands. For all of those who in attendance today, how many of you plan on taking notes at some point during this conference? They could be mental notes, they could be written notes, they could be anything. And if you keep your hands raised, how many of you are not using AI to assist you in those notes? Perhaps it's just pen and paper. Yeah. I envisage by this time next year, the majority of you will bring your hands down and you'll be using AI in some way. If I can give you a small example of how I use AI. Say I meet someone from a city in Portugal and they have an innovation fund and they are looking for new people to join. You know the type, send your smart ideas here, we will give you money. Fantastic. I will open up my AI calendar or my AI application, and I will simply tell it in very simple terms. There is an application due with the city of Costa Brava in Portugal on the 27th of November. I would like you to remind me 2 weeks in advance to send my proposal to my suppliers, ensure that the costs are all okay, and 1 week in advance, set a reminder to discuss with my team our proposal. And like magic, AI creates all of those meeting requests, all of the calendar information, everything. And it's more like an intelligent assistant. So if I can transfer that now maybe to a city application. We are from Dublin. Our company will install a lot of the traffic signals and coordinated controls. We believe in the future at some point AI will be introduced in such a way that we can tell it on Saturdays our biggest football team, Dublin, play at the major stadium. Here is a list of all the fixtures and all of the times the matches will take place. We know we can coordinate with the traffic signals because it's an adaptive traffic control system. I'm sure something you are all familiar with. It uses already a primitive form of AI to detect traffic jams and change the light sequences. But what if we were able to use AI to tell it, for half an hour or an hour before the match, give all the routes towards the stadium extended green time access, and after the match, if the team win, change all the lights to blue. No, I'm joking. We won't do that. But there are so many ways we could begin to use it. Our company was started about 20 years ago. Traditionally was a maintenance company, but we decided we wanted to be the best smart cities provider in Ireland. So we established 2 sub-companies within ours, which is for software development and traffic installations. That means we have our own team on the ground, able to install lights, sensors, any type of application, and our own software engineers to create all of the AI, the back end, and the machine learning that's required to provide the best AI for Dublin. One of our most interesting pilot projects at the moment is done in coordination with partners in the UK and around. And it's a huge problem in cities where you have tram intersections with vehicles. A vehicle approaches a red light at high speed, and you know instantly they are not going to be able to brake in time to make the red light. 9 times out of 10, the driver carries through the red light and crashes straight into the tram. This can cause problems, obviously, for losing a public transport vehicle for a certain amount of time while it's under repair, and then also the devastation it'll cause the passengers and the cars. Our pilot program at the moment, instead of trying to stop the car, it can read the speed of the approaching vehicle, make an assisted, educated decision that this car will not stop in time for the red light, and instead it will stop the tram. It'll remove any possibility for the public vehicle to cross the path of the speeding car. Now, if we were to try and introduce that based on people, it would be impossible. You would need 1 person per intersection 24 hours a day to watch it. However, one AI system can watch over every single junction that has a sensor and is monitoring all this data. Which brings me to my real point. The ability for us to introduce AI and systems like this in the future comes down to sensors. It comes down to the quality of the data that we are able to collect in real time and bring on our cities. Really, we know AI won't really impact our lives. We have a lovely saying in Ireland and in Europe that a society grows stronger when its residents plant trees whose shade they know they will never sit in. And this is what it's about. It is our job to put in the sensors so that the next generation can create life-changing AI applications. We have made a small sensor for one of my most favorite projects that we have at the moment. There's a lot of drownings in Ireland, and it's unfortunate because we are surrounded by so much water. And the life buoys that are used to save someone who is drowning regularly go missing, be it stag doos, be it people using them. At the moment, they are not intelligent devices. A ring buoy is lifted, it is thrown in the water to save someone, and it is gone. We developed a small sensor that sits at the bottom of the ring buoy housing. It tells the council when there is a life buoy sensor present, but more importantly, when there is not. This then triggers the council to go out and replace the life buoy. They are not at a great cost, but what happens is it saves a life by ensuring there is constantly a ring buoy at the location a person needs there to be. But as we start to introduce AI in the future, and again with our partners in the UK, we are discovering this. If we develop that sensor to a point where we know that it is being used, or it can prove that the ring buoy is being used in an emergency situation and someone's life is in danger, that exact same trigger can be used to send out drones to find where the person is in the water, give an exact GPS location. If the drone then confirms someone is drowning, it can trigger the emergency response to the location to make sure that person is saved in time at the exact location where they are in peril. It's a fantastic opportunity to utilize all of the technologies that are available to us, and we are very excited to keep developing this sensor and more. If you are interested, we will be doing a demonstration of this full system in, Neil might have to tell me the exact location. It's the Smart Dublin stand at 3 o'clock today. We will take you, we have designed all of the software, all of the hardware, and currently there are 600 of these sensors installed around Ireland at the moment. Bear with me. I don't have a huge amount of time left, but I would like to thank you for your participation and listening as cleanly as you have. As I said, Neil and I will be on the Smart Dublin stand for most of the day. We can take you through all of our other applications of AI that we are using, but we firmly believe that this is the future of smart cities. And the sooner we can start to see it as an assisted intelligence instead of an artificial intelligence, the better all of our cities and public spaces will be. Thank you for your time. I'll welcome any questions.
Give it up to Ken Glover, everyone. All right, so, well, thank you very much for this, I think, very interesting presentation and how we are putting the safety of our users first. Now, we still have maybe just about 5 minutes in case anybody would want to ask a question. We have the microphone here in the front, so don't be shy. Come over and ask a question.
It's always hardest being the first. Nobody wants to speak at the start.
Who wants to break the ice? Anyone? Then Ken, in the meantime, because we discussed that